G'day hivers, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Go and grab a cup and we'll sit down and have a chat. I've got Rooibos, or Rooibos, however you say it. Please forgive me, South Africans, if you happen to be online. But yes, I don't mind a cup of Rooibos. I've already actually drawn the cards for today because every morning I get out and I want to have my own little morning ritual when I actually come to terms with the day. I'm not a good morning person. I just can't. So ever since I've decided I'm going to create my day with a new ritual, I've decided that this is going to be how I want my day to go. And that starts with a cup of coffee, tarot card reading, a meditation, and allowing myself just to breathe. I even had a tattoo that actually means breathe in Sanskrit. So there you go. But the cards that I drew today really drew me to a revelation that I had of transformation, and it's really quite profound. And I really want to share this with you because to me it was part of a major shift in my life that I realized that I needed my own space. I needed my own cocoon. I needed a place that's completely my own to retreat to de-escalate, to decompress, and just allow myself to be. So I just wanted to share with these cards this morning that I got. It's actually now this afternoon. I don't even know what time it is. It doesn't really matter. These readings are timeless. So wherever you happen to be and whatever day you happen to be on, this is for you. The first card that I drew was the Sun. Now that's a great card to start with. This is why I'm wearing sunny colors, I'm wearing my flowers, this is spring, I'm a spring baby, I'm doing everything the spring allows me to be, to bloom and grow and just be. So this is a beautiful card to start with, and this is all about success, abundance, being shone the light on, and everything to do with good, wholesome success. Now these bees are feeding on the nectar of the sunflower. They're all enjoying just everything that they need is just being provided. It's a great card to start with. However, this is also a really good starting card to actually shine the light on the following cards. And the emphasis on the following cards is as follows. The next one is, this one in the B deck is actually the Fool or the Keeper in this case. Now the Fool is all about starting new things, embarking on new journeys, feeling like you've just got the world ahead of you and you're just dreaming and enjoying just getting out there. This is all about you starting to realize who you are and what you are becoming and what you want to become and what you dream of becoming. So about that is all about rediscovery of self. Really rediscovery of self, to actually embark on a journey of self-discovery, self-transformation, self-initiation, and just self-growth is all really a profound part of this journey. And this is really important this time of our lives, because what's going on in the world really sort of with all the identity politics and all the rubbish going on in the world, people are fighting to find who they really are, where they fit in. So we really need to find out who we are to stand firm and stand strong in this world that is just taking over and just not allowing us to be individuals, not allowing us, to be unique in who we are created to be. So this is really a very important part. How do I put it? I really just feel like it's just a new beginning for everybody. We're entering into a phase where we just need a fresh slate, a clean slate. Let's just do away with the old and get started on the new, because there's so much crap in the old. There's so much crap behind us. We don't need to be focusing on that. We need to be focusing forward, being visionaries, being dreamcasters, being goal orientated, so we can actually achieve what we want to achieve. I refuse to believe you only live once, because I believe in multiple lifetimes. However, we are in this world to achieve a certain amount of healing, restoration. There's a great saying in Judaism called tikkun olam and tikkun nefesh. Now, tikkun olam is all about repairing the world. The part of the world that you're in, you have the ability to repair what's going on around you. Tikkun nefesh is repairing the soul. And you have the ability to repair your own soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions. So how do you do that? Where do you even start? Like the reason why we need to have that ability to go back into the cocoon is so that we can rebirth ourselves. And this is where this next card comes into play, which is the death card. Now, death doesn't necessarily mean a physical death. It may mean just put to rest all the old BS and let it all just be buried. It doesn't need to be resurfaced. It doesn't need to be revisited, and it does not need to be dwelt upon. This is all your old crap. Just put it to bed. Like, not saying you need to ignore it per se, but you do need to get on with your life. You can't allow that to actually pull you back and allow that to stifle you. You have so much more to live for. You have so much more that is waiting for you to understand who you are in this world, that this is a very, very pinnacle transition point for you. All right? So we have the major success of shining the light on you and the spotlight. I can get this all in my fingers. The keeper or the fool, which is beginning a new journey. But to begin a new journey is of transformation, right? The first thing to acknowledge is I don't need to do this anymore to myself. I don't need to carry all this baggage. I don't need to do anything that I don't need to do anymore, that is people pleasing others before myself. I need to look after self first, because I cannot save anybody from a sinking ship. All right? I need to captain my own ship. I need to see what excess cargo I'm carrying is no longer required. I need to dump it. I need to be free to be me. All right? So the next card that I got, of course, which, amazingly, of course it had to happen, rebirth. So yes, we need to have that ability to go into the cocoon and actually make that transformation, putting to rest all that rubbish and creating a new sense of self, a new vision of me, even things with your perception of your own visual appearance. Change your hair, change your makeup, change your clothing. Who cares? My kids call me the eternal chameleon, because I have had so many looks over the years. It's not funny. So this is something that I need to emphasize really, really, really well, is you have the ability to make who you are the way you want, in whatever capacity that is, but it's entirely up to you. Nobody else. And my son is trying to ring me as I'm recording this. Okay, darling, I'm going to have to get back to you. Anyway, yes, so this is something that I really feel that this is very important for you to actually understand. Nobody can recreate you but you. All right? It is entirely your responsibility, your domain. Nobody can do it except for you. So you have to do the hard yards and the ugly work of getting rid of stuff that you don't need anymore and pursuing the goals of recreating you. And I wanted to show you a great way of doing that, and that is actually by creating a sacred space. Now, after I finish talking to you now, I will actually attach, if I can figure it out, because I'm not very tech savvy. If I can actually get that connected, I will give you a little video of my sacred space, where I'm actually currently sitting right here, because I've created that in my house So I have a place to retreat to, that I have a place to decompress and de-escalate. So I can just be. I've created it in very soft tones, very feminine colours, a place where my feminine energy can be released and restored. And it's really funny because every time I come in here, the males in my family want to naturally gravitate in here so they can get filled up with their emotional tanks too, which is really funny because I've now had to put a do not disturb sign on the door. Anyway, yeah, I was first introduced to the sacred space when I was being spiritually mentored by this beautiful woman. And she took me for a tour on her house. And she's a very passionate Christian, but she took me on a tour of a house and she took me to her prayer room. Now, her prayer room was amazing because it had everything that she had set up. She had these beautiful plants, she had these beautiful paintings, she had her worship music going 24/7. She was creating a sanctuary. She was creating a place of, you could just remove yourself from the outer world and just be. And we all need those little places that we can actually go to, a place that you know that you're safe, that the world is not, pounding down the door. You have a place where you can rest and recuperate and just allow your mind to process whatever you're going through at a better rate than being hyper caffeinated, hyper aware, hyper vigilant on protecting yourself and everything that you need to be aware of to, function in this world. But what I found when I did that reading was this came up, and this is a beautiful deck by Rebecca Campbell. I've shown it to you before, and the card that came up was Chamber of Protection. Can you see that? Chamber of Protection. I love the fact that there's a little guardian bee right in the middle of it. So the guardian bees on the hive will actually guard and protect all those new babies in the brood area. They'll protect the honey, they'll protect the hive of all these different attack, flies and wasps and beetles and things like that will try and come and rob the actual hives. And we need to be like that within ourselves. We need to put a sanctuary around us, even within us, and know that we can retreat to that space and actually allow ourselves to be safe and nurtured in this crazy world. So when you start to embark on creating your sacred space, you may not have an extra room in your house, but you can find a little corner in the rooms where you're staying, even if it's in your bedroom, and your bedside table might be your little sacred space. You just find a way to actually have a place that you can focus, that you can actually allow yourself to escape from the world. And whether you're male or female, bring that energy into that. Bring that, whatever you're needing, into that space. Whether it's, structure, you might want to have, really beautifully strong furniture, bold furniture, and big pictures of, vast landscapes and things like that. Or you might want something feminine. You might need the pinks and the purples and the blues and the beautiful soft pastel hues. You might need, I personally, and I highly recommend this, get yourself a plant or something wooden to resemble the earth component, and something that will actually represent each and every one of the actual elements. Something like I use candles, you might use incense. I have, you can probably hear it in the background, I have the waves going on a beach on YouTube on a sleep cycle, so it goes for 12 hours. I need to feel that wave of blessing, of emotion just coming over me. Having that time of sanctuary and that time of escape from the crazy world each day, even if it's just 10 minutes. This is something that we all need to do, because otherwise we won't remain balanced. We won't be able to cope. We'll be like bouncing off walls. And this is something that we are finding really, really difficult in this way. So many people are not coping and flying off the handles and going into fits of rage and things like that, because they're not prioritizing their mental health and their spiritual health first. So if that's a help for you, please, please, please just start searching for a little area of your house that you can say is just, this is going to be my sacred space, setting up my sacred altar. It doesn't have to be big. It could just be a little side table and having a little candle to light, having a little pot plant, or even something that resembles a pot plant. It could be a little plastic pot plant. But having the real thing will actually raise the vibrational energy of your space. I find it really helpful too. Sometimes with incense, I find crystals to represent the earth energy. I will find a whole bunch of different things. And I'm currently looking for a little miniature, what do you call it? Little tabletop fountain, so I can actually have real water flowing. So yes, that's really, really important to have all the elements represented, and you will find that you'll create a really beautiful atmosphere that you start looking forward to. All right. So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you, and grab a cup of tea, add a bit of honey to your life, and enjoy your surroundings. Go create that sacred space. Bye.